Peace. Y'all know what type of people you're in front of right now. So I know there's a lot of panelists. I know there's a lot of y'all were in the crowd at one time, you know. So let's try to take it to them. Like, how did you get to this point? Like, tell us, like, what was the break? Like, how did you break through to get to that level where you work with the Jays and Trinas and all that? Explain the grind. How did you get to that point where people like Jay's listening to your tracks and putting on his album? Not Jay, anybody. You know.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't think there was even a plan. I think for most of these producers right here, I don't even think there was really a plan for them where they were looking that far down. I mean, I wasn't really, I was a producer that really wasn't looking too far. I did it because I loved it, and others were the one that pretty much kind of noticed it. And from there, I just got more aggressive with it. The more I got aggressive, the more I stayed in the element. It's a matter of time. You know, it's just like anything. You stay in a certain area, eventually you're going to, you know, carry on, or you're going to kind of rub off on the things that, you know, are around you. And it's just like music. The more you surround yourself in it, you're going to either get better, you're going to either know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, you're going to know if this is for you, and at the end of the day, you just bring the swagger upon yourself. It's just like, you know, if anything, you've been doing something for a while, you know, certain situations that might jump out at you, they don't bother you as much because you've been in it. You've been in the trenches. And it's like, you know, like I say, we just been doing it for a while. So I don't think there really was a plan. You know what I mean? I think God was the main, was the main element that kind of made it. You know, the Buck Wilds and LV Sean C's. And, you know, this is what it is. You know, so at the end of the day, the element is just consistency, staying in it. You know, and working your craft. That's all.
I think also a lot of it really has to do with like relationships. It's 8 of us here, like 3 of us I knew already. Like I've known Sean before, well I ain't gonna say before he's a producer. Sean was also A&R, LV was also a DJ, and I've known Amadeus, you know, from not just from music, but you know, from family, you know, like that. And that grows, those relationships can grow into anything else, because when you have that, these are the things, and plus your talent, which can get you the way you want to be. So when you have those things help you elevate the music business also. Because you got to remember, being a producer, probably when I started, if we had 100,000, right now you might say it's about 10 million. So on that note, when you have, you know, these guys that I know, if I want to get to something, they can help me get to that spot, and the same thing, you know, vice versa. So your relationships right now are like the key elements that you need in any part of the business.
So I want to talk producers B to get the beats out.
Well, right now it's 88, but right now, like I'm in the A now. So the trenches, for me, we're always inspiration, and actually from different regions. Right now, like down south is like right now it's on the radio a lot. So what you got to do is be versatile and go around, see who needs what. So sometimes you got to go to the clubs. You got to, if you don't network, nobody know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to show your face. People got to say, okay, I see this kid out. He's really trying. You know, where your studio at? Can I come to your studio and bring my beats? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to put the work in. You have to ask. You have to ask questions. So it's everything. That's why you're here now. So yes, you got to go all these different studios, clubs. You just got to be out there.
To add to what he said, when I first got in the game, I didn't know anybody. It was like 10 years ago, and I was signed to this producer called Ron Lawrence. I'm in Ron. And what I would do, because he was hot back then, so I would go to every single party, every single night, and all I would say is, I'm signed to Ron Lawrence. And that built my name. So people were able to put the 2 and 2 together, like, oh, Ron, so he must be about something if he's signed to Ron, because Ron was about his business. So eventually, over the years, all these people I was meeting, like now they're all executives, and now it's easier for me to make a phone call, and they remember me because the way I approached them, you know, it was in a good way. So that's how I did build my relationships.
Let me ask you then, is it important to have a manager? I mean, if you guys are networking and grinding, do producers need managers?
Yeah, I think you definitely need somebody that, if you're not, especially if you're new and you're not entrenched in the industry and just trying to come in, you need to have someone that has the connections to help you get somewhere, you know, to help you meet those people, and just be prepared, like all the time. Like if you have your beats on your laptop, you should, you know, wherever you go, even if you're going out with your girl, have your laptop in your car. You know what I mean? Because you never know who you may run into, and always just be prepared for that. You know.
You know, I started off kind of like managing myself. I didn't really know all the ins and outs of paperwork. I didn't know all the, you know, all the business aspects of everything. So I went from managing myself to having 2 different managers, having a manager, having to let them go, walking into a different management company, having them have to let them go, and now I have the representation that I have now. So, you know, it's different phases you have to go through. Change is difficult, you know what I mean? But if, at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself, you got to push yourself. Regardless of, I love my management. My management is great to me right now, but at the end of the day, no one is going to work as hard as me, for me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they're working hard, they're getting percentages, all of that's cool. But if you don't put in what you need to put in for yourself to make yourself go to that next level, then it's not going to happen. Period. You know, you can't sit back thinking, I'm going to sit back, I'm with so-and-so right now who represents all of these, you know, major producers or major artists. It's just going to automatically happen. It doesn't happen like that. It's all about what you put into it.
Now I got to talk right now because we in a recession. So the music game, everybody knows the money's starting to dry up a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot. I'm going to be real. So as a producer, what are other ways to make money in this game? Like, I mean, I'm sure that we can run down a whole laundry list, but y'all actually do it. So let's talk and see how you guys are making money outside the music industry.
Yeah, but you know, like we can't get caught up in like, and this is why I asked for
Take the mic.
Like, we can't really get caught up in the name and all the names we drop, because at the end of the day, it's still hard for us. You know, so I don't want y'all out there, you know, looking at us like, yeah, y'all made it, y'all good. Checks is rolling in every week. The phone calls is being returned. The emails are being returned. Like, we still sometimes deal with the same nonsense that the up-and-coming producer did with. You know, so it ain't all great.
So are you just exploring other avenues of making money outside the music?
Man, I'm all over the screen, all over the TV screen, doing different reality shows. I mean, show management. I just try all things. You have the things you can do. You just around, you know, make beats all day. Like LV, I've known LV for years. LV does a lot of different things besides make beats. He's a DJ as well, so he can get money doing parties, doing clubs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like he just said, you know, I'm a DJ.
Go ahead, Steve.
Making music for TV. So for the last 5 years, I've been licensing my music to a lot of MTV shows. Like, I scored the music for Robin Big all 3 seasons. I got my music on Run's House, Celebrity Fit Reality. So I'm doing the ringtones. You know, there's so many ways that you can make money doing music. You don't have to wait on your royalty checks from producing records. And in order to do that, you got to be a musician as well, because the first thing they say in the licensing agreement, no samples. So if you can't create from scratch, you're not going to see any of that money. And that's very important.
I agree with what you said, but being a guy who samples, it depends on what you have in your agreement. When you get to a certain level as a producer, like I know I sample, Sean samples, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, whoever, everything's coming off the top. So I'm getting half, and he's getting half. But as a producer, your most important thing that you really have is your publishing catalog. That's where you're going to get your money. So depending on the type of records you make, if you make a record that's going to last 2 months, you'll make a little money. If you have records that what they call recurring catalog, you can get money from movies, you'll get money from commercials, you get money from all type of things. And that's where you really get your money. So as a producer, you really have to look and see how broad you want to be. It doesn't matter. It's like some people can play, some people can't. I can't play.